Can I really help you unlock your next level of executive leadership without working more hours? I know it sounds too good to be true. When you learn the habits that are holding smart, successful corporate women back, you can create better ones that will catapult your career forward. Like my client Nancy, who went from being passed over for promotion to becoming managing director at a global financial services firm. Or my client, a VP at an investment firm who, after years of being overworked and underpaid, was recruited to an even better role with fewer hours and greater peace of mind. Before we dive in, I created a free guide for you called 6 Habits That Hold Women Back and How to Change Them. Think of it as a roadmap showing you where you might be getting stuck and how to replace those habits with strategies that move you forward. You can grab it instantly in the description below. And if you've ever felt like you want to unlock your next level of executive leadership, but don't know how, you are not alone. I've lived it myself. When I was rising in corporate leadership, I was successful, smart, strategic, and yet I caught myself falling into certain patterns that held me back. And after over a decade of coaching high-achieving women leaders, I've seen these same hidden habits play out again and again. When I first read Sally Helgeson and Marshall Goldsmith's book, How Women Rise, it was like a mirror validating what I had experienced and what I was seeing in so many of my clients. Here's the truth. The problem isn't your intelligence or your dedication. The problem is often unconscious habits you may not even realize are undermining your career. And today, I'm going to walk you through 6 of the biggest habits that hold women back in corporate leadership. And more importantly, how to break them so you can step into alignment with the executive leadership you're capable of and the confidence and influence you deserve. Hi, I'm Stephanie Hessler. I'm a high-performance strategist and former corporate executive. And for more than 10 years, I've been coaching ambitious leaders, especially women. My mission is to help women leaders unlock their next level of executive leadership while enjoying more peace of mind and joy in their lives. And if you'll do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, it helps me to grow this channel and offer more free content. So let's dive in. Habit number 1, focusing on your job instead of your career. Most successful, smart, high-achieving women are incredibly dedicated to their jobs. You work tirelessly for your team, your senior leaders, your company, but there's a cost. You can become so focused on excelling in your current role that you neglect building your long-term career. You don't have a career strategy. Here's what happens. You keep your head down, do amazing work, but meanwhile, colleagues who are building visibility, networking, and positioning themselves for the next step are the ones who get tapped for promotions. I remember when I was a corporate VP, I was putting in long hours and delivering results, but I wasn't taking the time to be strategic about my future trajectory. Once I started intentionally communicating with senior leaders and not just delivering on what was expected of me, doors began to open in new ways. Here's what I recommend. Decide to be strategic about your career. Block 30 minutes each week for career strategy time, a meeting with yourself to align your actions and activities with your long-term goals. In my free guide, 6 Habits That Hold Women Back and How to Change Them, you'll find prompts to help you prioritize your career and take intentional steps forward. Click the link in the description for instant access. Being strategic about your career is the single most important habit to master. And keep listening today, because once you overcome the other 5 habits, you'll have everything you need to make your strategy successful. Habit number 2, staying silent about your achievements. Women often believe good work will speak for itself. But in corporate environments, what isn't visible often isn't rewarded. If you don't speak up about your achievements and contributions, or maybe you minimize them, people may assume you're content where you are. Or worse, they might think you're not leadership material. I can't tell you how many times I've heard smart women say, I don't want to brag. But speaking up about what you've achieved isn't bragging. It's advocating for yourself. It's demonstrating readiness for the next level of leadership. Having a career strategy means you're in marketing for yourself, and that means advocating for yourself. One client of mine, a senior vice president at a Fortune 100 company, was reluctant to talk about her achievements and contributions. She felt she was showing off, but I persuaded her that she needed to show off her achievements at work and also to express her ambitions in order to stand out as an executive leader. When we worked on shifting her mindset and owning her accomplishments, her peers began treating her like the exceptional leader she really is. And I recommend you keep a wins journal. Before any important meeting or conversation, pull from it and speak confidently about the impact you're making. Habit number 3, reluctance to leverage relationships. Building relationships is something that comes naturally to most women, being supportive, collaborative, and generous. But too many stop short of leveraging those relationships for career advancement. Without colleagues, and especially senior colleagues who actively advocate for you, you can miss out on high growth or strategic assignments, visibility, and promotions. Ursula Burns often spoke about how critical others were in her rise at Xerox. Early in her career, senior leaders at the company, including then CEO Paul Allaire and later Anne Mulcahy, not only guided her, but also advocated for her. These leaders in turn opened doors for her. She once said, "Dreams do come true, but not without the help of others." That support helped propel her from an intern at Xerox to eventually becoming CEO. If Burns had only relied on competence and hard work, she might have stalled in middle management. But building relationships with senior leaders is what allowed them to champion her for high-profile opportunities and leadership roles. So keep this in mind. Relationships are two-way. If you've supported others, allow them to support you. And be bold. Ask for support. Habit number 4, people-pleasing. If you find yourself saying yes to everything, especially the thankless tasks, and constantly trying to keep everyone happy, chances are you've fallen into the trap of people-pleasing. The problem is that many of those tasks are non-promotable. Planning the office party, taking notes, or spending hours helping an underperforming colleague. They may make you liked, but they don't move your career forward. According to a 2022 Harvard Business Review article, research shows, independent of rank, the median female employee spent 200 more hours per year on non-promotable work than her male counterparts. That's staggering. An entire month of labor with no career payoff. I once worked with a client, a VP, who had unconsciously become the go-to for everything in her department. She was exhausted, resentful, and underappreciated. We practiced one simple tactic. Instead of saying yes immediately, she would say, "Let me think about it and get back to you." That pause gave her the space to say no or to delegate. And guess what? Within weeks, her calendar had space for higher impact activities that did get noticed. Leadership isn't about pleasing everyone. As you commit to building your career, you'll align your decisions with what matters most. Habit number 5, overthinking and ruminating. Overthinking, especially rumination, often shows up as analysis paralysis or replaying mistakes on repeat. Research shows women are more prone to rumination than men. The problem? It's demotivating. It erodes confidence and delays action. You hesitate, doubt yourself, and sometimes miss opportunities that other colleagues sees. As Sally Helgeson and Marshall Goldsmith explain in How Women Rise, you put energy into trying to rewrite events instead of accepting them and moving on. I've coached smart, successful women who would rehash mistakes, regrets, or events, sometimes ones they had little control over, and berate themselves endlessly. But I've also witnessed incredible transformations. What I teach my clients is what I've had to practice myself, building awareness of habitual thought patterns and beliefs, especially the negative ones that don't serve you. I used to struggle with overthinking and rumination, often silently beating myself up. What changed everything was learning to build awareness and consciously interrupt those negative loops. And here's the good news. As you generate enthusiasm for your career and become more strategic about it, you'll feel more inspired to focus on what's possible and keep moving forward. Habit number 6, being a perfectionist. Perfectionism may feel like something to be proud of, but in reality, it's a career killer. It traps you in the details, makes you afraid to take risks, and keeps you from taking action into bigger opportunities. Unless you meet 100% of the criteria, you risk burning out while chasing perfection. Even more damaging, you hold yourself back from the very opportunities that could accelerate your growth. I've lived this too. I used to find myself doing other people's work because I was certain I could do it more perfectly. Excellence matters, but my perfectionism was keeping me in the weeds rather than allowing myself to embrace the role of a transformational leader. So, as a recovered perfectionist, my wake-up call came from a short passage in Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Begin at once, whether you are ready or not." For years, I waited until everything was perfectly aligned. Today, I prioritize taking action over waiting for perfection. And that shift has made all the difference. So let's recap the new habits you're building. Number 1, be strategic about your career. Number 2, advocate for yourself and speak up about your achievements. Number 3, leverage your relationships and ask for support. Number 4, set healthy boundaries and say yes only to what truly matters. Number 5, let go of overthinking and redirect your energy toward action. Number 6, focus on excellence and progress, not perfection. And here's the good news. These 6 habits aren't fixed traits. You can build them by replacing the patterns that hold you back with empowering practices. You create alignment with your highest potential. Which of these stands out most to you? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear. And today we've only scratched the surface of what's possible when you decide to be strategic about your career. Then, when your habits align with your vision, your results can't help but rise. And if you're serious about breaking through limitations and rising to your next level of executive leadership, download my free guide called 6 Habits That Hold Women Back and How to Change Them. Just click the link in the description. And if you do me a quick favor, please hit subscribe. It helps me continue creating free content for you and ensures you never miss a new video. I'm Stephanie Hessler, and I'll see you in the next video.